Hey, what's up guys? So today we're going to be showing off the new Phantom Knight stuff in action. This is going to be coming out with the new Raid Raptors. You're kind of supposed to mix them, I guess, together into one deck, but here we're just showing off the new Phantom Knights in action, and the deck is quite good. We can of course set up the board for multiple negations. We can also technically go second in this deck and absolutely obliterate our opponent with some of the newer support cards. But what it really comes down to is being a really good rank 3 engine. But we have access to go ahead and go into rank 4 cards as well. But on top of that, we have a card that is going to have multiple negates that is not a once per turn. So you still will be able to set up those boards to make it so your opponent can't YuGiOh. But in addition to that, you're going to be able to kind of deal with boards turn 2 if you happen to go second, because the deck has a lot of options here. So one thing that I do got to mention really quick for the replays, this card that will be unknown, it'll say question mark, all it is it's actually number 3 Cicada King. And what this card does is it's 2 level 3 monsters, and then if it's battle position chain, you can just post them an insect monster. This doesn't matter at all. The main effect is when a monster effect is activated on the field as a quick effect, you can detach a material from this card, target one monster on, and negate that monster's effect. Then choose an insect monster in the field. If you change the chosen monster's battle position or have the chosen monster gain 500 defense. It really doesn't matter. It's just a rank 3 extra negation. That's really what it comes down to. So now that that's out of the way, let's go ahead and resume what the heck is going to be going off. So of course, any meta deck in the future, once this card and this card actually come legal for the TCG, we're all going to be playing it. Again, the Phantom Knight stuff doesn't come out for a while anyways from Phantom Rage. But most importantly, we have access to Dark Requiem Exceed Dragon. This card is absolutely amazing. This effect is not a once per turn, so well, the first effect is technically once per turn, but anyways, the first effect is once per turn that says you detach material, the target face up monster your opponent controls, and change its attack to 0. If you do, this card gains attack equal to that monster's attack. That effect we don't really use. We use the other effect where when your opponent activates a monster effect as a quick effect, you detach a material, negate the activation. If you do, destroy that card, then you can special summon Exceed monster from your graveyard. That's the effect that we want. That is not once per turn, which is really, really OP. And then on top of that, we have F0, so that's also another negation. This is another negation, and this is another negation. But the more important part is this effect is multiple times per turn. And on top of that, you're getting an extra card to bring back. Usually the board will be pretty much full. This card usually will die off, but the guy just went ahead and was like, well, GG, I can't really do anything with that, because, of course, this has the effect where it can't be destroyed by battle or by card effects also, and then also you can detach material and then negate the activation of your opponent's card, and then also take control over it. So the guy was like, well, there's not going to be anything going off today. But the next tool up over here is pretty cool too, and there will be a really cool play that you will see just in a moment here. And like I said, this deck can go second too. It's just the first few set of replays, it will technically be going first in the first two over here that you'll see. So anyways, Cherubini, excellent card, of course, with that awesome ability to go ahead and send a level 3 monster from your deck to the graveyard. Really made for the Phantom Knights and the Burning Abyss. Just such great synergy, and then you can just go ahead and go into something else. And on top of that, you also happen to have Fog Blade, which is a searchable card that is really great. It lets you go ahead and stall quite well. It also has that awesome ability to make it so monsters can't target that face-up monster for attacks, which is really cool, because sometimes you do want to actually target your own things so your opponent can't even go into your life points. You can basically kind of stall with it, so it's another great thing. I know this guy's playing the Time Lords, which not necessarily are the most meta of things, but just wait and see what happens. Anyways, he's going to go ahead and double Fog Blade, so those cards aren't going to be too powerful. Another Cicada over here was summoned. That's just a negate, whatever. He just goes ahead and is able to go burn him for a bunch of damage. Even though the card technically cannot be destroyed, it can be targeted, therefore it's going to lose out of its effect. Then you can go ahead and burn him for 4,000. I just like seeing them getting burned. It's just kind of funny. Alright, next one up over here is going to be a really cool play where we're going to go ahead and actually see this guy is playing Dragbus. But we're going to see a one-hit OTK. This guy is going to be going first. He's going to open up with a few negations. He has, in addition to his free search, he's got the Flordy List, the Knight of Dragma, so that's a negate 1. Ash Blossom's a negate 1. Impermanence technically was a negate 1, but that card's going to go ahead and go to the graveyard. So he's going to go ahead and Ash Blossom. So Ragged Glove's not going to be getting that effect, but he's going to go ahead, be able to search out an extra card, go for the Reinforcement Army. add another Phantom Knights card and just go ahead and start special summon. Like I said, this deck can definitely play going second. It could easily play to 2 to 3 against 2 to 3 negations, but if it's like 6 negates, well, most YuGiOh decks just lose at that point. Unless you, of course, you have that Winged Dragon of Ra Sphere mode, which is an excellent card. But the Rank Up Magic Phantom Knights Force is so great for the deck because, again, lets you go into that monster that will have multiple negates. But in this instance over here, we're going to see another newer card pop out that I thought was pretty cool. So he's going to go ahead and break sword and go right into ranking up, right into the Arc Rebellion Exceed Dragon, and it's going to gain 13,100 stats, so that's going to be a one-hit OTK, obviously attacking to whatever. That's game over for our opponent, and I love that. Especially going into the next format, once we have, of course, the dragon. The Verte Anaconda always sits up on the board. It's kind of just a useless card, so you just go ahead and attack that, and you'll be getting game a lot of times in this deck after your opponent obviously uses their one negate with, of course, the dragon fusion card. So yeah, you can definitely one-shot your opponent. It's kind of more like extra icing on the cake, but sometimes it is definitely a usable card. But we got a lot more plays to go and show off, and I'll give you guys a deck profile as well. So this one is up against a very meta deck, the Infernal Knights. It's just like, it's basically like Flame Warriors is really what it comes down to. Yeah, it's actually meta in the OCG. Very consistent deck too. It's kind of like an Assault Turbo spam, and then of course they have the God Gearfried, and that card is able to go ahead and snatch steal your opponent's cards as well. Fantastic card. Anyways, it's kind of more the bread and butter play, and to show you guys the ins and outs of the deck, it really comes down to utilizing Levier over and over again to try to get those extra free cards. And then we also have the F-Zero over here, where if they activate a monster effect, we're just going to go ahead and stop it. So no worries about Nibiru at this point, because obviously this negate. Unfortunately, Nibiru is not a cost. We also have another Fog Blade over here. He's going to go ahead and attempt to go for the Heritage of the Chalice, and this card is going to go ahead and maybe Snatch Steal something. So he's going to go ahead and attempt to go for that effect, but again, Cicada is the card over here. It's just negate 1, and he also gains 500 defense, so it's okay. He's going to go ahead and summon the God Gearfried, go ahead and equip it to it. He's going to go ahead and attack right into it. That's going to go ahead and get stopped, and Verde Anaconda going away. Is still going to go for that effect, but the F-Zero is going to go ahead and stop that, and on top of that, if he wants to, he can go ahead and attack him with his own card, because it doesn't really stop anything, and he activates Reborn, but Reborn is going to get stopped, so he has to see GG over there. So I like it. The deck is very good. And let's go ahead and see what happens if the opponent happens to have Dark Ruler No More and Lightning Storm, because that would be an easy answer to, let's say, very powerful turn 1 boards. So we're going to go ahead and see the same, what I consider bread and butter for this deck, to go ahead and end the board with multiple negates, and on top of that, relatively strong board, and additional follow-up too, which is what I like so much about Phantom Knights and the Burning Abyss. There's a small amount of Burning Abyss in here. I'll give you guys a deck profile, like I said, in a moment, but the deck is just very resilient. It can always come back into the game, and that's why I think a lot of people really liked that deck. So anyways, there's one negate with, of course, this, but it's going to go ahead and actually gain multiple negates. So this is a good play. He Dark Ruler No More, so he's stopping everything, but the rank up Magic Phantom Knights Force was activated, and he's going to go ahead and rank up, but put this monster in defense mode so it doesn't get destroyed via the Lightning Storm. He's going to go ahead and once again activate the effect of the Dark Requiem. That's going to go ahead and negate, and also bring him back another monster if he decides to go ahead and do so. So he's going to go ahead and make Striker. He's going to go ahead and stop Striker, and then with this effect, going to go bring back Levier. Unfortunately, there's no material for Levier, but, you know, you can get out a free monster. Why not go ahead and do that? And like I said, this effect is not a once per turn for the detaching the material to negate as a quick effect, which really makes it so much better. And then, once again, Levier going to be bringing back the boys, and then F-Zero going right into the number F-Zero Utopic Future. And this is going to go ahead and have another negate. He's going to go ahead and have 3,000 plus 2. That's perfect. Quick maths, and that's game. I like this last duel over here. It's pretty cheeky what happens. So this guy's playing one of those Red Maju Banish decks is the matchup here, and he's going to go ahead and activate Lure of Darkness. For I'm not sure what reason he immediately needed to activate this. Maybe he was being a little bit impatient. He didn't want to go ahead and keep on saying, no, I don't want to activate it yet. I understand, especially with some of the Yu-Gi-Oh games on like the PSP or something. Every single time it's like, do you want to do this? And you're like, no. And then you hold it down too long, and then eventually what happens is you're like, dang it, I wanted to activate it. But nonetheless, again, bread and butter, multiple copies of Levier are going to be brought out. Ragged Gloves, and then of course the Graph is indeed out as well. And Cicada over here is just negate 1, and then this is also another negate, and then he's going to bring out his boy, which is another negation. So with this board over here, we're going to set that card. And since he decided to summon it, I mean, to be honest, he probably would have done that during the end phase, therefore he wouldn't get that effect. So I think that was kind of a misplay on his end, but maybe he just wanted to go ahead and show him that I got the Gizmek. But at this point, we've got 1, 2, and 3. 1, 2, 3 with the monsters, and then 4. So we have 4 negates. So it's still a decent little board. Gizmek is going to go ahead and come out. The Eater of Millions is also coming out. And he's going to go ahead and go for Bigfoot. And then he goes ahead and also gets a Gren Maju Daiza. This guy got some good luck over here. But that is going to go ahead and get stopped by the Fog Blade when he goes to try to attack. If you're wondering why he doesn't crash any of these, well, when this card, when they activate any effect, like for example with the Eater of Millions, he can go ahead and negate and snatch steal the monster. And on top of that, this card can't be destroyed by battle or by card effects. I guess he should have attacked over this card. I was also wondering why didn't he just attack over this? It's not like they have to attack this card. So I was thinking I could understand keeping this up here because this monster is stuck. Therefore, top decking any Gren Maju can one-shot, so I can understand keeping that. But for the most part, people are probably going to use it to link off eventually, even though this deck just kind of plays just that, and there's technically Appaloosa. But maybe. I still think he should have got rid of the other cards, but that's my personal thoughts on it. But maybe he was scared of this. I really don't know. But nonetheless, Twin Twister, he's going to go ahead and pop his own. And now this is what I liked with this play. So he gets rid of that. So this effect is still live, so it has all that bonus stack. He's going to go ahead and go right into popping a card, but then bringing back those 2 Phantom Knights cards, and they obviously level up 1 more, so you can go into a rank 4, going into Dark Rebellion, Exceed Dragon, and then using that effect, where you're going to go ahead and half its current attack, and then this card gains that amount, and now he's going to get 9,000 attack and then one-shot his opponent. So I like that. That was a really cool cheeky play. Woki, you made some spicy plays. I like your Phantom Knights deck. Now, any of you guys that do want the deck profile, I'll mouse over the cards really quick. And as always, guys, I will be including the deck profile over in the Discord if you guys want to go ahead and just download the file. But for those guys who do want to copy out, I'll go ahead and mouse over it really quickly. Like I said before, the last card, Cicada King, is this one. It just wasn't in the deck when I copied it, so that is what we got. Pretty much what it comes down to is make this card and you'll one-shot your opponent, or you go ahead and make this card and have, like, I mean, a lot of times the plays are ending with this, and if you happen to have one or 2 Flag Blades, that could be excellent as well. And then usually you're going to have this. So you usually have, like, with this card, this is 1 negate. This is usually minimum, like, 2, and then 3, and then you have 4 with this. And this is, again, multiple negates over here. So a lot of times you'll be able to stop all of your opponent's cards. But anyways, hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, drop a like on it. If you're new here, subscribe, turn on the bell so you don't miss out on more Yu-Gi-Oh content. And if you want to send me any replays like my boy Woki over here, I would like to see the Raid Raptor build mixed in, because that's what they want us to do. But honestly, I think this is probably going to be a very meta deck going into the future, because it's very, very consistent. If any of you guys have played Phantom Knight Burning Abyss, I mean, the Burning Abyss is like really small, but like you need it. Like it is definitely going to be helping out. But I'm going to call it pretty much a pure Phantom Knight deck. But anyways, thanks for tuning in, guys, and I'll catch you on the next video. Have a good one. I'm out. Peace.